So needless to say, I was terrified because I was like, well, what if this happens again? But he kind of reassured me and said, I think it's just a full-blown panic attack. Labs came back fine. EKG came back fine. Everything was coming back fine. So they just kind of chalked it up to anxiety, which a lot of doctors tend to do. 4 days later, to the date, I'm sitting at work again at the spa, and I'm just sitting there talking to somebody, and all of a sudden, this time I didn't have the shortness of breath. I got that wave, that sensation of someone shooting me up with adrenaline straight into my heart. And it's just the most terrifying feeling. And like I said, it comes in waves. Like, it comes and it goes, and you're like, okay, I'm okay. And then here it comes again, and you're like, it'll go, and you're like, okay, I think it's over. And then it just keeps doing that for what can seem like forever. Me, it can be hours, it can be a whole day. It's not a fun feeling. So I ended up calling the ambulance again. The person that was there with me did, and I ended up going to the hospital. They thought it was SVT, that doctor did, and so he said that I should go see a cardiologist. Fast forward, lab work came back fine. Went to the cardiologist, they did an echo. That came back fine. She's put me on a Holter monitor. No, this is the first Holter monitor because the first one I didn't get. She put me on a Holter monitor. That came back fine. She basically said, I don't think it's your heart. I think you need to go back to your general practitioner to see what he can do for you. Went there. He himself did another echo, a 30-day event monitor, another Holter monitor, another EKG, more blood work. What else did he do? He did a stress test. After the stress test didn't do so well because I actually had exercise intolerance, which meant within 4 minutes I was at my maximum heart rate. Well, let me just tell you what happened there. And this is what he explained it as too. When I started having these attacks, and this all happens within a year. This is over a year's time frame, I mean. He said that was when I started having these panic attacks, I quit all exercising. I quit everything. Like, I had this phobia. If I went anywhere, I didn't drive. I mean, it was debilitating. I didn't do anything. I ended up just sitting on one side of the couch because I literally thought if I sat on the other side of the couch, that I would go into a panic attack. I mean, it was bizarre. So, needless to say, I literally was stuck at home. So, I didn't do anything, so my heart had been deconditioned during this time frame, and I didn't walk. I didn't do anything. I sat on a couch 24/7. So, of course, I had exercise intolerance because for over 6 months, I hadn't done a thing. And when that adrenaline kicked in, I went into a panic attack. And that's when my pressure increased and everything else. Within this year, I have also been on antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication, that made me gain weight. I ended up gaining 60 more pounds in a year. Actually less than a year. What else am I on? I'm on a beta blocker, which is supposed to, like, counteract these panic attacks. Like, sometimes they treat it for panic disorder to where it's supposed to lower your blood pressure and lower your heart rate, so when you have these attacks, it kicks in, and it will try to not send you into these attacks. Well, that's yet to work with me, so, because obviously I'm still having these attacks. So I've had a full cardiac workup, but I'm still having these attacks. My symptoms are different every time, with specific underlying symptoms. Like, the wave is always there, this wave of sensation that comes upon me that knocks the wind out of me and the breath out of me, heart palpitations, dizziness, heaviness. I feel like I'm about to pass out almost every time. I mean, I really feel like I'm about to pass out. They hit me out of the blue. That's another thing I didn't mention. These are out of the blue panic attacks. They don't hit me. There's not a trigger. Like, there's not Like, I'm not afraid of crowded places or something crazy like that. I'm just sitting in my bed and here comes this stupid attack. And, there I am. Extreme shortness of breath, loss of concentration. I get a lot of symptoms like while I'm at work and stuff. I work for a hospital, which is not the best place to work when you have panic disorder or panic attacks, or whatever these attacks are, because sometimes I can bring them on, and some days I do feel like I bring them on. Because I'll be sitting there and I'm like, okay, I just want to leave. I don't want to be here. I just want to go home. I just want to be in my house and, be where I feel safe. So yeah, so this last time I'd been doing pretty good. Those were there. I had 2 major attacks that ended up, in the emergency room. I take that back, 3. That I ended up in the emergency room, and this last one, it really took its toll on me because I had not had one in quite a while. I had had many ones, as I call them, to where I get the symptoms, but they don't last that long. Like, they could last maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm done and I'm over it. But this one really kicked into high gear. I got really nauseous, and I was like, oh, what is going on? And then here comes the attack. Wave of adrenaline, shortness of breath. I mean, I felt so heavy and lightheaded that I just knew I was going to pass out. I told my mom, I said, if you don't get me to the emergency room now, I'm going to pass out on you and you're not going to know what to do. So we ended up going to the emergency room, and he didn't do anything but an EKG and then gave me a shot of Ativan, because there's really nothing else they can do because they've done all this cardiac stuff, and what else is there to do? I've seen a cardiologist. Here are my concerns. A, are they missing something? Are they missing a heart defect, a heart condition that they just haven't caught yet? Because why am I having all these symptoms? I just don't understand. And I feel like they're so intense. Like, I really feel like I'm dying. And it's no exaggeration, and unless you've been through it, you just have no idea how bad it feels. I mean, it comes on you like a deer in the headlights, and then it doesn't stop until it wants to stop sometimes. And, in the moment, I don't feel real anxious. I just feel like I need to get somewhere to where they can treat me. And I don't get real panicky about it. I just get really like, oh my gosh, like, this can't be a panic attack. I always fear that I have something way worse. I keep going to my doctor. He keeps looking at me like I'm crazy, or prescribing me another medication. I've switched doctors 3 times and gotten 3 different opinions. So it's not like I haven't tried to do everything in my power to feel better. And I'm so frustrated. I just need support, and I need help, and I need someone to talk to that's been through this. And if any of you have, please share your story, because I'm about to lose it. I really, really am. And I can't. I've lost a boyfriend due to this recently. We started dating back in February, and I couldn't be in a relationship. I couldn't do it because I couldn't do anything. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to be around him because I was afraid of having an attack. So it's just in all aspects of my life. I quit ultrasound school. It's just to go to work is just a complete, it takes everything out of me. It's the worst experience I've ever gone through, and I'm so tired of it. Some days I'm just like, I just don't want to get out of bed, because it's like, if I sleep, maybe it won't come on. Maybe I won't have these attacks if I just can sleep the day away. And I'm ready to pull my hair out. And I feel like I'm not living my life as a 23-year-old. I'm not dating. I don't have friends, to hang out with anymore. And I've become real isolated, and I'm really struggling. So, yeah, anybody with any encouragement or any stories or anything you can relate to, I've never been through something like this that's so terrifying. And I go to the doctor Monday because I'm going to see if he can put me on anything that will just help, because right now I weeded myself off of all my medications except my beta blocker, and the reason I'm staying on that is because of my blood pressure. I want to stay on that because of my blood pressure. But all other medications I got off of because I'm like, I don't like taking medications. I believe in them, but I believe I believe in them to a certain extent. I don't feel like you should take medication for every single ailment you may have, unless you absolutely need it. And there are people that absolutely need medication. I believe that fully. But I feel like if this is panic attacks, why can I not deal with this on my own? Especially when the medication didn't work anyway. Um, so yeah, that's my story with panic attack and panic disorder, and there's so much I left out, but there's not enough time to, you know, put it all in there. So if y'all have any questions or anything, or like I said, any stories, I'd really, really appreciate it. Because right now I haven't found anybody that's even gone through it. So, my family just think they're like, it's all in your head, just get over it. And that's really hard to hear, because it's like, yeah, y'all don't understand. It's the worst feeling, and, it's not exaggerating at all. Have a very high pain tolerance and tolerance to things, but this is just something some days I can't handle. So anyway, enough with all that. I'll talk to y'all later, and hope y'all are getting a better night's sleep than I am. Bye, guys.